Kia ora koutou katoa, Sagittarius. Hello, Sagittarius. How are you? I'm Lesley Ormsby, and I'm doing your monthly read for August 2020. So, I'm actually recording this on the 29th of July 2020. So, you'll probably notice that I'm sucking on something. It's a lozenge, actually, because I have a cold, or coming through the middle part of stages of a cold, which has progressed from a few things, actually, when I think about it. It's like processing some spiritual stuff and some, and some, not so much physical stuff, because I feel okay physically, but I'm saying that, of course, when you have a sore throat, it's not a good thing, or a scratchy throat. But we're here cold, but there's a few things, and I have been very busy with one thing or another, and so and tired and not sleeping well, with a lot of things going on, but it's all part of my life, and every now and then I'll go through these things, and then and I'm just going to share what I shared in the last video, that processing thing. And sometimes when we're processing, we will get some symptoms that are like, a cold-like or flu-like, as per se, but not actually have the cold or a flu. It's just something that we go through. And for me, it's been around my throat chakra, and which I kind of felt was coming. But that is, there was something, it's about communication, expressing, and it's and it goes, and there's just new energy that is coming through me, and with that I'm working with at the moment. And so, and I'm doing a lot more talking than what I used to do, so it's the spirit in a way preparing me for some things that are leaving me, as in they're like on the spiritual wavelength, and stuff that I'm processing, as well as some physical things, but also preparing me for the work that I'm going to be doing into like more channeling and stuff like that, with different energies, which is really cool, but also doing more talking, preparing my voice box for doing more communication verbally, and I guess I'm not a singer by any means, absolutely not, but it's how they prepare their voices and things like that, so when they're singing and tuning and things like that. So there is a similar sort of thing going on with me, with a little in preparation, and partially me holding off on doing some things, for me as well, but it's all unfolding, and it's unfolding in a way that's in a sense meant to be for me, okay? However, and that's cool, and I get that. So the other thing I want to say is that these, even though what I've just said is like, if you are experiencing something similar and you are feeling a little bit concerned, then absolutely check out a doctor. Go and check it out with a doctor or whatever, because I'm not a doctor, and so I have no medical claims or anything like that about what I, about how I do things. But I mean, obviously, for me, if there was, if I really felt like it was really bad, it's like, then I would see a doctor. But for me, my first protocol is natural, and letting myself go through that process, so my body can, fight it, or not even fight it, go with it, basically, as well. Okay, with a bit of help from me doing things to help myself, self-care, and that's all about the eating, and doing things naturally to help my body correct itself. Okay, cool. So I don't know why I'm sharing that, but obviously some of you out there may need to, it may be helpful for some of you. Okay, so going back to the beginning of my introduction, thank you everybody for, you know, for subscribing and or coming into or watching my, if you've come across, sorry, my videos via Facebook. Thank you for liking and following me on there. If you haven't done that, I take this opportunity now to invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and like now, and or at the end of the video, and also follow or like me on my Facebook page, and that'll be cool. Also, I just want to say that, remind everybody that these reads are general, so they may or may not resonate with you. If they do, that's wonderful. If they don't fully chuck it out right now, because it could be something that is more of a forecast for you, and sometimes it may just not be anything in your realm, so that's okay. That's all good too. And because this is about honoring yourself of what is yours and what is not, okay, as well. So the other thing I want to say, if you don't know what these reads are for, it's suitable for those of you who are watching for Sagittarius. Sagittarius in your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign as well. So if you don't know what your other signs are, please check out there's a link in the description box below that will take you to a website that has a calculator in there, and it's free, and it will work it out for you. The other thing I want to say before I continue with the reading is that if you would like to book a reading with me, if it's, and you know, for a more specific reading for you, and or healing energy or something, or like a mentorship sort of, okay, they're getting me to use different things. This is how it's changing for me. Type package or role, then yeah, please make contact with me in the description box below in my details, and we can have a chat about that, how we can work something out for you. Okay, so anyway, this month, or this week, for this month, excuse my continually or consistently, constantly actually, maybe they're going clearing my throat too. So this is for the Sacred Earth Oracle that I'm using this for this month, and also my trusty tarot cards. And the angels have made an appearance, and I think we would like to share a message too. So Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, and the collective of angel messages that have come to me over time. Okay, anyway, Alliance is the first card that's come up for you. So Sagittarius. So there may be something where you're needing to build a team or an alliance together, and working with a team, and for the best possible results this month. And it may be, I feel for some of you that has been happening, but I feel like this is something different to that. Okay, there's something new coming through, and some of you it will be a similar sort of thing. There's a continuation of something that's happening that's already there, but some sort of alliance forming. And I feel that's like, not with some of you, it will be like a spiritual team. It will be something in the community to make something happen as well. And it may be something, you know, like a group of people that are working towards something. So there's something in there with an alliance of people. So then there's fragments. Okay, there's something to do with some of you on a personal level, fragments, okay? And I feel like there's something to do with fragments of information coming through to you through dream states, some of you, from spirit. And some of you, it's like that it's going to help with whatever is going on in here, okay? And some of you will be receiving fragments of information about some of the projects that you're embarking on to do with this alliance or a group of people that are building something together as well. And that's in the physical. And then we have Fortitude. Okay. Interesting. Fortitude. I'm not sure what, I'm just getting a link in there. Now some of yous, excuse me, gosh, I came out of the blue. Fortitude is courage in pain or adversity. So it's like, okay, where I'm just looking at the meaning of it, because there's something that came to me before, and it's like strength, okay. Something to do with mental and emotional strength in facing difficulty, adversity, danger, or temptation courageously. An example would be, never once did her fortitude waver during that long illness, or that long, whether it be an illness or something else. But there's something about being courageous, and there's something that's been long drawn out, where some of you have for yourselves. And it could not necessarily be a pain, but or an illness. It could be something else, okay? But that's the example that they've given here. So I feel like some of you, it could be that. Some of you, it could be they're coming to this, where whatever this alliance is here, to do with that. But there may be something, and it's like, this is in reverse. So I'm kind of feeling like there's something maybe coming to an end, or something like that in that way. I want to turn it the right way, because, or there may be something blocking the way to something coming to an end. But I'm going to turn this around the correct way, because it's kind of like, I see like all these animals around this person, in the shadow side and the dark side of his face. He's, you know, his face is like shadow, and it's like one eye of one of the beasts showing. It's like there's something moving or shifting. And when I look at that that picture, there's something about protection as well in there. So we'll see what comes up with the cards, with the tarot cards, what comes through with there. But it kind of like, what I'm hearing from that is more so the courage in pain or adversity, basically. So whether it be mental, emotional strength and courage with facing something difficulty over a long period of time, or some sort of adversity. Anyway, the next card out, work is underway. So with the Two of Wands. So there's been some steady sort of progress, and it's like got something going. Now it's about, yep, those two are anchored. You know, that's going, I'm looking out there now, where to? And, but not so much just now, where to? It's like, okay, so what is my next steps? Okay, for some of you, it'll be looking at that. And you may have already had your next steps planned or got them planned, but it's also looking out there, because I'm feeling like they're looking out there in this sense, out there too, for the future as to what actually it holds for me or for you. And then we have regeneration with the Eight of Cups. So there's something to do with this fortitude. I'm going back to that. And that, and also with the lines and the fragments, it's like there's some emotional stuff that's been going on with this Eight of Cups, and there's something that's coming to an end. It's almost like you figure something out, and you've realized that you're just going to carry on. You've sorted out most of it, the stuff, and you're just not going to. It's not like you're turning your back on it, but you carrying on walking while there are, you know, you've and still working with the emotions as you're going, because I'm seeing like walking through the cups they've piled up, but the stream down the hill is like, you know, flowing, and you know, it kind of looks a little bit bleak up there, that rocky road, but there's a tinge of pink in there. You might not be able to see it, but when I look at this card from here, there is a tinge of pink in there. So it's like there is, you know, it's like you're letting go and you're leaving those emotions behind, because the past is the past, basically, is what I'm hearing. Okay, cool. to do with relationships, and you know, with not, I'm feeling, you know, for some of you it's like these romantic relationships. Some of you it's other different sorts of types of relationships, is in like work wise, employment wise, but also with some projects. There's some things that have been going on that it's like, okay, I'm just leaving that in the past. Moving on, done what I needed to do, sorting it out, and I could carry on regardless, and also still be able to work through them if I need to. Okay, so something is flowing there. There's some, the Nine of Pentacles is, you know, success and enjoyment. So there's something, you know, the end of a phase there where you've moved through something. When you, or you will move through something to do with finances and that. So there's, you know, like she's in there, and there's the vines, and they're quite prosperous. She's smiling in the background there. There's some other stuff that's there. It's like, but I kind of feel like, because she's ready to move on to the next phase as well. So, you know, with these other two cards there, it talks to me like, you know, ready to get on with the next phase of life, basically. And there's a sacrifice, you know, or choice, because we have the Hanged Man that's come through next. And I'm just doing like these 4 cards across, you know, for each month, each week of the month, but it's not necessarily going to fold out, that unfold as that's going to happen this week, that week, and that week. But because there's a theme or a story going on here. So there may come about with, you know, where you're going to have to make some choice, a choice, or some of you might see it as a sacrifice, depending on how you see it. But you know, there's going to be something that you're going to have to do, and it's like, it may not be what everybody else, you know, thinks that you'll do. So it's like just being this is, I kind of feel like this is where that you've spent a lot of time doing something, and it's time to make a choice. Excuse me. And like I say, it may not be to everybody's liking, but it's something that you may need to do. You have to do for yourself. And it comes back to that, because like you're in a good space there. And it's like, you know what you're doing. You know, you've processed all this because you've taken action. There's something underway. You've sorted out, or you're sorting out whatever is going on here with these emotions and these thoughts for you. And you're still getting on with it. And there's something prosperous still working out because you're processing it. You're not holding on to things and, you know, holding yourself back for it. And then there's a choice that needs to be made. So you're going to be moving on into doing something. And then some people, like I say, aren't going to like it, and some people will. But really, you've got to do what you need to do for you. And then all these cards popped out. So we have the, in you acknowledging that, there becomes a new beginning. Because we have the Page of Cups, a new emotional beginning. So it could be not a good thing, it could be a good thing, depending on where you are with it. But I feel like there's, for a lot of you, it will be mostly a good thing, okay? Because then we have, because there's a reflection there, and I'm just drawing to the reflection in the water. It's like you see something, you notice something, and it's like, okay, and you've got to make a move either this way or that way, which helps you make this choice, which is where the sacrifice of choice comes, because you start to see something. Actually, yep, I can do that, and not let your emotions rule you. Because then we have the King of Cups, and he is one who fears, but, you know, both fears and loves. So he's like, you know, mixed emotions of whether he wants to go into, say, this relationship, because it might not work out, whether it be a relationship for a partnership in a business, or a relationship as in a love relationship, or a relationship, or, you know, any sort of friendship or relationship, or movement. I feel like, but I feel like on saying that, he's come to grips with it, because I feel like, you know, on saying that. But then we have the Eight of Swords, which is difficulties, you know, and letting go, basically, becoming free from restraint. So there's the mind thing gets caught up with the emotions there. But I'm hearing, you know, that you will overcome that, and I'm feeling that you will overcome that, because the next cup in the next card that comes up is the Ten of Cups, and that's contentment and a happy home life. So something happens where you shift, there is something where you're shifting your mindset to something like you set yourself free, because you're the only one that can let you out of that. And why I say that, if you look at her hands, whether you're a male or a female, and I know the picture in here is shows the female, her hands aren't really tied, you know, her arms aren't bound that tight that she couldn't free herself and undo that blindfold. So there's something that you're not seeing. You've put a, you know, you've blindfolded yourself, and you can't let yourself out, but because you can't see it. But actually, if you, you know, when you think about it, like these swords here, she can let herself out because they're not that close together. Even with a blindfold, that she wouldn't cut herself. So she's not taking, like, I suppose, that leap of faith in a way, backing herself. But if she took the blindfold off, she'd actually see that. So there's where they're going there. So there seems to be, like, the Ten of Cups is a happy and content home life. So something happens where you must shift your mind, or you will shift your mind. And then we have the Four of Swords and the recuperation and convalescence card. So you'll be processing some things, but it's like you'll go into that stage, and but allow yourself to take some time out for you, because this is, you know what we need to do. And that's what this, like, for me, like I started in the beginning, this week has, you know, is that for me, is just taking some time out. So, and Spirit will bring me that time. So I'm going to take that time. And because I haven't got any appointments booked in until later in the week. So I'm going to take these next 3 or 4 days and just, you know, spend time with convalescing, recuperating, spending, you know, time with me and, you know, my pets and, you know, that sort of thing, and just resting, and reading, doing a bit of reading and research, and nothing really strenuous, basically. So all I am going to be doing this week is my weekly reads or monthly reads, and that's it as far as work wise, until the end of this week. So anyway, so it may be something that is similar, that the Spirit have provided a time where you may not have any bookings in or something like that, or you may not have any appointments to attend to, whether you're in business or not, bookings, you know, or tip appointments in that sense, or you know, you may be able to, you may have some sick leave that's available, or, you know, your, you know, appointments might change with where you're working, so you could take the week off or a couple of days off to just, you know, be quiet still, have some time alone time, or some you time. Okay, so then there's some sort of struggle and tension again that comes up with that, though, with the Chariot. So it's like a where to now, though, on saying that, because you'll have a lot of epiphanies that will come through. And there's a sense of balance, but the struggle and tension with the Chariot is like, you know, those horses are going in one direction, and have you thought about just continuing on where you are, you know, on the path straight ahead as well? So there's actually 3 choices, not 2. Okay, is where I'm hearing from that one. And then just keeping in mind that, you know, and then I do feel like, you know, the world, just keeping in mind that the world really is a big place, and if it's like, is like that saying that the world really is an oyster, like an oyster or an oyster. It's a big pool, so there's so much in there that you can do pretty much anything that you want to do when you want to. But this one here is the completion of achievement and or attainment with the World card there. So there's some sort of end of a cycle that you go through with whatever is happening with you at the moment, what is going on with you mentally, emotionally, and finding that balance with that mind, body, spirit, soul sense. But they keep drawing me, you know, to the mental and emotional, that those thoughts and those feelings, those sorts of things, that is like getting on top of those. And once you get on top of those, you'll be fine. It's like you're being, you know, aware, not you know, starting yourself from doing anything, but and holding yourself off, but just being aware of what you're thinking and shifting that frame of mind, that thought. Creative writing or drawing from your heart. That could be something that is really handy for you right now as you're going through this process that you're working through. Let it be, like Mother Mary. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. And then that's kind of where I'm hearing that one from. Oh, hearing it there. And then we have clear your energy field. So there may be some stuff that's going on or some shit that's stuck around you. So clear your energy field. Sage, water, whatever it is that you use for you, and that where it's karakia, prayer, create peace. Whatever it is that you're doing, you're working towards, is creating peace and harmony. First of all within, and also then it emanates out and then expanded out, okay? Now, that's Archangel Michael. Now, Archangel Raphael would like to share some words of wisdom, some knowledge, and some there for you. And we go here. Oh, now it's taking a little while, so it's taking you a little while, he's saying. So just be patient. So there's something that's going on there. So I'm thinking, wow, I didn't think, you know, normally they just jump out, but not today, not this time. So he's just saying, be patient. And I feel it's not just for me, this is for you as well. Things are unfolding in the way that they need to be. So don't rush it. And it's like, this is about you making the best possible decision for you. And okay, say I love you to you first and foremost, okay? Even when sometimes, you know, when there's some shitty things that are happening and you're not feeling the best and you're maybe totally fracked off, but step back, breathe. Don't snort out with those fumes and that sort of things and smoke coming in your nose. Step back, breathe, and say I love you, because I love and approve of myself. I love and approve of you. Look in the mirror, and just bring in that love-based energy, because that's not you. Love is in the air, and it comes back to that too. But I think for some of you, it's literally love is in the air, and if it's not, make it so. So allow yourself to learn something new, do something different, and create your own thing. And there could be going back to that reading the books and things. And then divine timing is in play right now. It will happen. Allow the universe to bring it together. So being patient, okay? Has his last word to say, doesn't he? Isn't it beautiful? Okay. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there now for you, Sagittarius. So my guides and my helpers and the angels and these sacred Earth Oracle energies here, we leave you with lots of love, peace, harmony, and joy, excitement and adventure. And we shall see you next Wednesday with the weekly read. And hopefully it'll be interesting to see how this flows into, flows into this. So anyway, God bless you and bye for now.